Since Epic refuses to add those drivable cars to Fortnite Creative, I guess I'm just gonna have to do it myself. Hey everyone, this is Syntax, and today I'm going to be walking you guys through how to make my version of a working drivable car in Fortnite Creative. Let's get into it. Actually, first of all, check the skin, dope. Second of all, look at the sky. Look what they did to Creative. It's absolutely gorgeous. The lighting is amazing. Anyway, yeah, let's get into it. I took this a step further than just a normal driving car. I actually made it so that you can't drive the car until you have fully gassed up the car. So you can see, pick up the gas can, I'll go ahead and pick it up, and still I can't drive the car. But if I go ahead and fuel it, pretend there's like something you can fuel right there. I'll refuel the car. It will then allow me to use it to show up to my next destination. And today I'm going to show you guys how to do this. So yeah, let's get right into it. The only things you're going to need from the devices gallery are a few buttons, an explosive device, and a couple teleporters. First thing I do is have this button send a signal to this explosive device, exploding it, which is really me picking it up and putting it into my inventory, quote unquote. But yeah, let's look at the mechanics behind this. Time to trigger is set to 1, delay and reset delay is set to none. I turn the trigger sound off, of course, and my interaction text is the actual interaction text, or the action you're going to be completing when you press the button. So for me, right here, it's pick up the gas can. I made the interaction radius 0.5 because it looked appropriate. It surrounded the entire gas can, so I was like, yeah, why not? I think I just made it bigger. Yeah, I did, but you can do whatever. And when interacted with, transmit on channel 1. Now that interaction is going to send a signal to this explosive device. Its structure damage is enough to break the gas can. Of course, I have damage indestructible building set to yes. Knockback turned off. You can't see it in game. The blast radius I think is like 0.25 or something like that. Yeah, it's as small as it can go. If you have props surrounding this gas can, you're gonna have to mess around with where you actually place the explosive device because you don't want it to blow anything up around it. Play audio and visual effects set to no. Collides with weapons only. Show health bar, that's supposed to be set to no. Ignore that. And yeah, basically what it does, it just blows up when receiving from channel 1. So there it is right there. After you've successfully done that, you've picked up the gas can, quote unquote, this button that allows me to fuel the car will get enabled. So as you can see, this button is actually disabled on game start, and it will be enabled when receiving from channel 1, which is our picking up the gas can. It's going to transmit on channel 2. Now this is a little bit smaller, set on 0.25, and our interaction text is refuel the car, because that's what we're doing. Once you have refueled the car by pressing this button, you will then enable the drive button, which to access I actually have to fly into the car. You can see there's the customize button, and you can see this gets enabled when receiving from that refuel button, which is channel 2, and when interacted with, transmit on channel 3. Again, it's the same thing. It's disabled on game start. I have times can trigger infinite because we can go back and forth between the two cars, or the one car, because we're just driving the car. You want to put the other car out of sight, not like I did here, but you can see the interaction text is go home, but you can have this be whatever. It could be go to work, and the other one could be go home. It could be go do this or go do that. Just make sure it's the action that you're doing. So if you remember, that button sends a signal to channel 3, and what that does is allows us to teleport to this teleporter when receiving from channel 3. Now this, of course, has a lot of stuff. I turned all the visibility stuff off, and I set this to relative, so whatever way you're facing, you will face when you press the button. But yeah, so basically the whole thing is you're gonna have two cars in two different locations. It's the same mechanics as the elevator. I'm just adding the gas can part because I figured it'd be cool. But yeah, it's the same mechanics as the elevator. You're just pressing a button and teleporting to a new location with the exact same car. Ideally, that car is out of sight and this car is out of sight when you're at either location, but I just did it to show you guys that it works. Yeah. Anyway, in this car, you guys can just take my word for it, there's a button in there that actually transmits on channel 4, and what that button does is allows us to teleport to this teleporter, which is the exact same as the other one. It's just teleport to and receiving from 4. So we press, this sends a signal to channel 3, teleport over here, this sends a signal to channel 4, and we teleport back. So anyway, if you set it all up correctly, it should look something like this. Again, one more time, we have two buttons that are currently disabled until we pick up the gas can. We pick up the gas can, it disappears from our sight, it's now in our inventory again, quote unquote. This button is not yet enabled because we haven't refueled the car, but this button gets enabled. Go ahead and refuel the car, and then we will enable this button, allowing us to go home or teleport to the copy of the next car, and again we can teleport back just like that. And yeah, that's how you make a functioning, working, drivable car in Fortnite Creative. Anyway guys, that is how you make my version of a working, drivable car in Fortnite Creative. I hope this video helped you out, and in light of the new season, here's a clip of me getting my first season 4 win. Anyway, thanks for watching, and yeah, this has been Syntax. Later.
Your trash, kid.